Perky Planes and RC here, operating at 2.4 gigahertz, and got the good old cup of Joe. No, it's not like I cut up Joe and put him in the cup or anything. That's pretty sick and disgusting. So don't think that. All right, guys. Hey, good morning. I wanted to go ahead and get a video out there, even if it is a pointless video. I wanted to get some sort of video out there because over the course of the next week or so, I'm going to be super busy and won't have any moment to do it. So I figure, what better time than now? And honestly, I have no real major topics of discussion, so this is just a probably a randomness video or something like that. I do have a couple things on my mind though, a couple things just to talk about. First of all, is there's a big box. It's behind me back here. You probably can't see it. That I had stored up in the loft area up here, filled with basically filled with just miscellaneous plane stuff that I hadn't went through yet, and I kind of knew what was in there, sort of. So it didn't catch me too much by surprise. Um, but what sort of caught me by surprise was how much stuff was in there. I mean, I knew, like I said, I knew what was in there. It's just when you kind of put it in perspective of how much stuff is in there is the thing. And I mean, I found an additional flight test speed build kit that I hadn't never put together. I found, well, actually, let me correct that. A total of three speed build kits that I have not put together. Um, I found, of course, all my foam board stash from my flight test, from doing the flight test stuff. I think there's probably about 10, 15 sheets there of a foam board. I found the wings from my old balsa trainer, the Project MU 11 1470, which was going way back. I found the wings for it. I found some rolls of Ultra Coat. Some poster board, and just a bunch of other little odds and ends. And I kind of just, did not even just going through that box, but even just a general inventory of like all the stuff that I have. And honestly, there's a lot. Um, so it kind of got me thinking, and I feel like, I feel like as I've gotten older, I am past 40 years old now. I feel like that I don't quite have the crazy build bug, as I'll call it, that I once had. So it's like right now, I mean, for those of you that get into the RC plane hobby, you can't have just one airplane. You usually have to have about 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or whatever. So, it really kind of got me thinking, seeing all this stuff. It's like, holy crap, this is like stuff that either projects I haven't finished, and there's all kinds of stuff. And so I sort of have established in the past year or so that I wasn't really going to get anything new, or try a whole lot of new stuff or anything like that. I mean, aside from diving into balsa, I think that's kind of my and doing the glow engine stuff, and I think that's kind of where I'm going to be kind of halting for right now. So, I'm not going to sit here and show you a new plane each week. I'm going to basically go back and just go back to my old projects, dig them back out, see what needs work, see what needs attention, and kind of go from there. The T-28 is the latest one that I have, and nothing else has been added since. And so, yeah, it gets kind of overwhelming. I mean, maybe when you're a little bit younger, you're all about that kind of stuff. You just want to have as much as you can and keep yourself busy and all this kind of stuff. But maybe as I've matured a little bit, I think I'm mature enough. I don't know. Maybe as I've matured a little bit, it's sort of like, yeah, maybe it's time to just go ahead and stop getting anything additional and just work on what I have. See if there's anything worth keeping. See if there's anything that's just, like I said, worth keeping, worth, revisiting, and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Is that I just kind of realized that I have a lot of stuff, and it's time to really kind of focus on completing some of these things. So yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Now maybe I'll reach a point later on that I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna add some more, things to the fleet, add some more planes. So so that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm sure all you RC plane guys out there can relate. I'm sure a lot of you guys are sitting there sneaking planes around the wife, that kind of thing. Not telling on you or anything. I swear I'm not, but I know it happens, and I'm sure the wife sneaks things on us too. Isn't that right? But all joking aside, seriously, I know all of us plane guys are like that. We, you know, buy planes left and right. We can't have just one or two. We've got to have about 50. So, if in case people are wondering, I was thinking the last time that I did a count, I was up to about 20. And these are, and like I said, these are planes that really, honestly, haven't even been finished. Really, I've just got so many airframes and things that I haven't really finished, or maybe planes that you know had a little hiccup at first, and I put them to the side and to come back to later. I'm looking at the wings for a couple of them right now, but just to give you an idea, it happens. So, but yeah, probably nothing new on this channel for a little while. Just more revisiting old stuff. So for those tuning in, or anybody out there that's brand new tuning in or something, it'll kind of like it'll almost be like, hey, I've got a new project, even though it's actually a project that's old. So kind of funny, huh? Um, but like I said, I'm sure some of you guys out there can relate to that. Um, and I don't know if any of you guys out there have ever reached that point of like, I have too much crap. What do I do with it? So, anyways, um, something else I wanted to talk about, and this is not really. So it's not just random. I did have a sort of plan for what I was doing. Um, so something else I wanted to kind of talk about as well, and it's not really something I've talked about much here on the channel at all. Even though it is there, it is in the background. It is just one of those things that you see from time to time, um, and it's something that probably does that I think we should have a little bit of a discussion here. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is RC clubs, um, which I'm actually a member of, and I know some of us out there, we probably have our own different experiences. Some of us are members of RC clubs, and we are completely happy and content with the RC clubs. Some of us have done RC clubs and have had bad experience after bad experience, and have basically been flying solo ever since. Um, and and at least kind of going back a little bit, it seems like AMA clubs were the thing. Now with the FAA stepping into stuff, it's sort of like things are shifting a little bit with that. So I'm not going to dive too much into the FAA's involvement there, although it is something to kind of to think about what the future holds for the hobby and everything. But let me just talk about RC clubs here. I've been a member of an RC club. I think for about the past 5 years, give or take a little bit. And honestly, I feel like I'm very blessed to be a member of the club that I'm a member of. Um, it's called the Tri-State Model Flyers, or Skyhawks is another name they go by here in the area. And honestly, I feel blessed because I have heard all the different horror stories out there of some of these how some of these RC clubs work, and um, maybe it's good, maybe it's not so good, but some of them that require pilots to um, demonstrate their abilities before they're even considered even a member. I've heard stories like that. I've heard stories of horrible club dues and things like that, and club dues club dues that's outrageous, and then on top of that, if they're requiring, of course, the AMA to be a member, you're looking into some pretty big bucks there, right? So, um, I feel blessed to be a member of the club that I'm a member of. All the guys that are there are totally cool. There's no pressure or anything. A lot of times, everyone's out there is willing to help you. Um, just a great group of guys. It's kind of a small club, not real super huge, but Totally good group of guys. Um, I will say this: I feel like I'm kind of the youngin in the group. Like I said, I'm you know, just over 40 years old now, and I'm kind of the youngin. I'm actually with a bunch of older fellows out there, and I think that's kind of a common story across the board with some of these clubs. Is you get a lot of guys that are, we'll call them, we'll just say the older generation basically. And it seems like some of us younger guys might butt heads with some of the older generation, and it's just one of those things that happens. But I mean, I'm generally a patient guy. I try to work with people. I want to be. I don't want to cause any tension. I want to just do my thing and socialize with some of them and all that. And like I said, great the ones that the club that I'm a member of. I said great group of guys. Never had any issues. The application process and the club dues and all that, in my opinion, is probably one of the is what I would consider probably one of the average prices for these clubs. I've heard some that charge well over $100 just for the application to be a member. Um, but I feel like the club that I'm a member of, they've always been pretty reasonable with that. Every now and then something comes up, but except for the most part, I think it's been great. And I strongly encourage clubs. And even if not an actual AMA club, try to find some at least a group of guys or just someone you can hang out with and share experiences and learn, especially because you can definitely can learn so much from other people as well. I mean, there's someone who's might have been down the same road that you're going down yourself, and they could save you a lot of frustration and things. So, and like I said, unfortunately, I know there's people out there that's had bad experiences with that, and all I can say honestly is if you've had a bad experience with one club, see if you can find another club to be a member of, where that you click with a little bit better. And if not a club, like I said, just try to find a good group of guys to hang out with and fly, and maybe you could start your own club or something. Basically. Um, so that's kind of where I stand with this. I have nothing wrong with clubs, but like I said, you just have to find one that works for you, basically. And like I said, more than likely you're going to probably find some older generation fellows as well. They might be a little set in their ways a little bit. Nothing wrong with it. It's what they do. It's what they enjoy. You know that kind of thing. So, speaking of the club, I will say this. I think I am just due to my recent radio change. I went from using Spectrum Radio to using OpenTX Tyrannus. Um, from my observation, I think I'm the only member of the club that use at the club I go to that uses Tyrannus and OpenTX now. I mean, I used to be a Spectrum guy, but switched over, and I think most everybody there uses Spectrum, honestly. So it's a little bit of a challenge for that, but it is what it is. But again, I can't speak highly enough of being a member of a club and having somebody to fly with and stuff. And it's cool to see what they bring to the field and just kind of it's a good social experience and everything too. So I strongly encourage it. Um, get if not a club, get you with some sort of community or something to fly. It's just much more rewarding. I know I fly by myself sometimes, but still it's just good just to sort of hang with the guys for a little while and just to kind of say hi, catch up on life things and whatnot. So it's just a good experience overall. And of course, like I said, clubs will sometimes, of course, hold events and things like that too. So it could be a lot of fun. So I do strongly encourage that for anyone out there. At least have someone with you, just to talk to and stuff, so you don't get too bored. Um, so, but yeah, like I said, I strongly encourage clubs or any kind of organization, any kind of community that you can be with and do that kind of stuff. Really, really encourage it. So, all right, well, guys, that is all from me. I want to thank you guys for watching. Um, I started thinking here too that this year has not been great. I have not flown much of anything. I've flown my drone and I've actually crashed my sea duck. So I need to go on the ball and try to fly something, right? um, it's just been so. It's just been a kind of a. It's just been kind of a whirlwind. Trying to get the building, situated, and at least to a point where I'm happy with it and can work in it more with doing plane projects and things like that. And of course, just trying to even fix it up in general. So um, it seems like even that's just taking my time to even want to go out and do some flying and stuff. I will say this though, I am very close to getting my RC simulator hooked up, so that way I can do some practicing in the meantime. Because I would prefer to at least warm up a little bit with something like that before I go out to the field and crash my next one. So I'm going to be getting the simulator fired back up here very very soon, and then way I can get at least get a little bit of practice in before I do anything else. Because I feel like I need it definitely. So hopefully here soon we'll be at least getting some birds in the air. Hopefully not crashing. However, it can happen, as we always say. What was it? Build, fly, crash, repeat. That old thing. Um, all right. Well, like I said, that's all from me, guys. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.